Hi, sweethearts. Kaylee here. It's week 33, and this week's topic is dating advice. Sorry about last week. I just in no way felt qualified to talk about trans health since my partner isn't the healthiest. So, make sure that you are always checking your T levels, checking in with your doctor, and just making sure that everything's okay, because some people don't do that. Hint, hint.
It's expensive.
Anyway, so my 3 tips this week are pretty easy. PD and I started dating before PD came out to me as trans, so I'm just going to talk about what works in our relationship. I think the first bit of advice that I have is to let go of all preconceived notions or thoughts that you had about what it means to be F to M. I have a lot of trans friends. I've dated trans men in the past, and so I came into this relationship thinking that I knew what it meant to be a trans partner, a friend of a trans guy, and I just had all these silly assumptions, and everybody's different. And I think that it's very important to remember that everybody has their own way of dealing, of understanding, of coping, of transitioning in general. Sorry, I have puppies everywhere behind me. And I think that it's important to go in with a clear head. I'm not saying that it's not important to research different things or, try to learn as much as you can as a partner, but I do think that it's important to remember that everyone is different, so everyone's transition is going to be different. My second bit of advice is to let the people in your life take their time understanding. The first time I met a trans person, I was in high school. They had not started to transition yet, but they had been thinking about it and talking about it with their friends. And he was really worried about what his family was going to think, and I'm the type of person who, I'm going to do what I want regardless of what my parents think. Then again, I have amazing parents, so I guess I've never really had to worry about that. But I think that it's just important not to push your friends and family into understanding what you're going through or your partner's transition, because everybody is going to comprehend things at different rates and in different styles. So it's just really important to let people go at their own pace. I hate being rushed into opinions. I have my own opinions, and those are the right ones in my mind, so I can understand how some people's families and friends may be afraid of what they don't understand. And I guess I just am a firm believer in figuring things out on your own. So like when I talked to my mom about PD being trans or my partner being trans and transitioning, she was just kind of like, okay, PD's PD in my eyes. It was never this big conversation. But at the same time, PD's parents kind of dove in head first and watched videos and did research and still are working through understanding everything and every bit of PD's transition versus what they know or hearsay. So everyone's going to learn differently, and it's going to be at their own pace. And my third bit of advice is just natural life advice, I guess. Stop eating the yoga mat, Addie. It's to always communicate, talk about everything. Sometimes I'm good at this, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes PD is good at this, and sometimes PD is not. But I think that it's very important to constantly be on the same page. We believe in consent for everything, so whether it's pronouns that I'm going to use when speaking about you in other places, or it's in the bedroom, I guess, I always want to ask and make sure that I know where you are so that I can figure out where I am. I just think that constant communication is going to keep doorways open and minds open, so it's very important to constantly talk through things, whether it's from what type of testosterone to use to what pronouns are you using today. And I know that can sound like a silly question because a lot of people are like, you know, I'm a man, use male pronouns. I'm a woman, use female pronouns. I don't want any pronouns to be used. But in my life, that changes from day to day. I meet people every day who use different pronouns or don't want to use pronouns at all. And I just think that it's always important to ask those questions. Never assume anything because assuming makes an ass out of you and me. Funny joke. And I think that it's very important to like keep each other thinking. I never want to just settle in my life for something that I believe is okay. So I constantly want to be learning and understanding others' thought processes, and checking those with mine, and understanding that everyone's going to be different, and just because something goes one way in my life doesn't mean that it's going to be that way for everyone. But that's about it that I have for relationship advice. I was never that person who really gave advice, nor did I ever receive it, really, so I don't know. I can tell you how to love your dog. I love my dog. Say hi, Trice. Trice. Can you say hi? No? Sorry. Guess he's not into the video today. But I hope everyone has a fun and safe weekend, and I will see you next week.